Good morning, explorers, and thank you so much for joining us this morning here at the Aquarium of the Pacific for one of our Aquarium online academies this morning. Today, I'm very excited because we're going to be talking about an animal you may really like. I know it is quite popular. We're going to be talking all about octopus. So, if during this program you have any observations, any thoughts you want to share, any questions about octopus, I invite you to send those in. We do have a live text line that you can use. And that live text line you can see right here on the screen is 562-286-1838. So this is a line that you can use in real time with me right now. So like that, I can talk about the things that you're interested in, that you're wondering about, that you may want to share. Maybe the octopus is your favorite animal and you know some really fun facts you want to share with us. I definitely invite you to send those in. And if you are watching this program after it airs live, so after about 9:30 this morning, you can still send in your questions and observations and your thoughts. But instead of using this live text line, you are going to want to use our email that you can see right here on the screen. And that email is live@lbaop.org. This just helps us ensure that we can still address your questions and we can still talk to you and all in a more timely manner. But once again, if you are watching live, you're going to want to use this text line right here. I'm also not alone in the studio today. I have my friend Tiffany right in front of me. So she'll be taking us on our octopus adventure today all over the ocean, visiting some of our octopuses that live here at the aquarium or other octopus that live in other parts of the ocean. She'll also be getting your questions and then she'll pass your questions over along to me. So with that being said, friends, like I said, I am so excited to talk about with octopus with you today. I'm getting a little tongue-tied because I'm so excited. But it's because they're such incredible, intelligent creatures. Is there anything you already know about octopus? If there's things that you know, you can think about them. You can write them down if you want. If you're watching with someone, you can let them know. But what do you know about octopus? Have you heard of an octopus before? Or is this your first time hearing about an octopus? I feel like oftentimes we see octopus in different movies and different shows, so you may have been exposed to them in one way or another. Have you been to the aquarium before? If you've maybe visited an aquarium before or our aquarium here in Long Beach, you have most likely definitely encountered an octopus. I know sometimes the octopus inside of our exhibits like to hide, but you can usually see at least one of their arms over by the side. But I want to start off just by making some initial observations about octopus. So what are some things that you notice? Let me step off of the screen here and we can see what we notice about the octopus. I'll give you about 10 to 20 seconds just for you to think on your own. What do you notice about them? What stands out to you? And you can always send in any of those thoughts with your guardian's permission into us if you'd like about some of your observations. Ooh, I see Tiffany is writing. I think someone sent in something. So very exciting, friends. You can keep sending in those thoughts and those questions. So what are some things that you've noticed about the octopus? So this is one of the largest octopus. You may have noticed its size. It is rather large. So this is a giant Pacific octopus, and they can get to be around 20 to 100 pounds. They are the largest octopus that is out in the ocean. How many arms does this octopus have? That's definitely something that stands out to me about octopus, is how many arms they have. Do you already know? Or are you not sure? I'll let you know that an octopus has 8 arms. It may be kind of hard to count in this picture. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I think 8 right here. They're all kind of jumbled up, but they do have 8 of those arms all over their body, and they also have all these white things right here. Do you know what all these white things are? They're suction cups. So they're able to use those suction cups in different ways. In just a second, we'll watch some videos of an octopus moving, and you'll be able to see in the way that they use these suction cups. Apart from moving, friends, I want you to maybe wonder and think about what other ways do you think octopus are able to use these suction cups, and also observe the movement that these octopus are making. Are they really rigid? Are they flexible? I'm going to give you a second to just have some thoughts and make some observations on this new video we're watching, thinking about those different things I brought up. But I do want to address some of the questions that I see are coming in. So I see that someone sent in, how many species of octopus are there? So there are so many octopus out there, friends, and I want you to know we're only covering a very small portion of that. I would say probably, I don't know math, 1%, because there's around 300 species of octopus out there within our oceans. And this is 300 species that we have discovered. I am more than sure, knowing how smart octopus are, how they are the masters of camouflage and of disguise, there's most likely species we have not discovered quite yet. But what we know about, there are about 300 species of octopus out in our oceans. You have octopus that will live closer to shore. Sometimes you can even spot octopus in tide pools. If you've ever been along the beach and you see tide pools, sometimes little octopus will come up to there and they'll find little different fish to eat, clams and stuff like that. And there's also octopus way down in the deep sea who will spend their life down there in the deep sea. So we know even less about them. Octopus are very mysterious animal, friends. But what we do know so far is that we have discovered around 300 of those species. Ooh, and I see someone is asking me, do octopus have bones? And that is such a great question, friends, because if you've been watching this video, I told you to observe the way that octopus moves. Is it rigid? Is it flexible? And octopus are very flexible due to the fact that they don't have bones. Octopus are known as an invertebrate. Have you heard that word before? An invertebrate. What that means is that they do not have a backbone. And here's that visual of the word for you if you're trying to figure it out. And as to how to say it, you can always write it down so you can remember it. But let's do a nice morning stretch with me. Raise your hands up in the air and touch your backbone right there. So octopus and this group of animals known as invertebrates don't have those backbones. They don't have those bones throughout their body. So other invertebrates that you may know about are jellies, are sea stars, sea cucumbers, anemones, octopus. They don't have bones in their bodies. They're invertebrates. Unlike us, we're known as a vertebrate. But octopus do not have bones, which is why we're seeing this super flexible movement. They only have one hard part in their body, which I will go ahead and show you. It is known as a beak. So you would imagine it looks exactly like a bird beak. The one I'm going to show you is from a squid, but it is going to look the same, and it has that same structure. And let me just fix my camera, friends. I think it's being all weird. Here we go. So this is what the beak looks like. So this is the only hard part in an octopus's body, is this beak that I can show you right here. So anything that is bigger than this beak, if there's any hole that's even just the slightest bit bigger than this beak, an octopus is able to fit in it. If it's any smaller, the octopus isn't able to fit in it just because of this one hard part. But that's why octopus can squeeze into so many into so many small spaces, is because this is the only small part of their hard part of their body, but you can see how small it actually is if we compare it to my pinky. Another question I see that someone is curious about is someone is asking, what is an octopus's lifespan? So depending on the octopus, it can range through about 1 year, and we'll talk about an octopus a little bit later known as a day octopus, and they tend to live 1 year. There are other octopuses that can live up to 3 to 5 years. That giant Pacific octopus that we are looking at move around, and that picture we are looking at is that octopus that can live 3 to 5 years. It definitely does depend on the different challenges that they're facing. Here at the aquarium, you have to remember, friends, our octopus are going to be living a little bit longer than an octopus out there in the ocean, along with all the different animals that we even have here. They have longer lifespans. That's because they're getting fed every day. They have people who take care of them, who work with them. They don't have to worry about predators or anything like that. So our animals here at the aquarium are living a little bit longer than animals out there in their natural habitat. Ooh, and I see Miss Dominguez's class is asking, what do they eat? And that is such a great question, friends. We were just talking about their beak. So having a beak like this, not only is it the only hard part in an octopus body, but it also allows them to eat things in shells. So they'll eat things like clams, crabs, lobsters. Sometimes they'll eat fish, depending on the octopus. It really comes down to the species as to what they're eating. There is an octopus in the deep sea known as a Dumbo octopus. So they'll eat a lot of the animals that sink down to the bottom of the ocean, like dead whales or anything like that. The Dumbo octopus will go ahead and snack on them. So it really just does depend on the octopus and what they have available to them, is the different things that they'll be getting a chance to eat. Okay, I see that someone is asking, is it true that octopus have hearts in their head? So really great question, friends. So I want to go back to that video we were looking at before of our octopus moving around, and maybe we can get a better look at the octopus head as well. So let's see if we can get a better one with an angle of the head. Oh, we have a peek at its little head right there. But oh, here we go. So, apart from our octopus looking at us right now, they do have this very big head right there. So, like we were talking about, friends, we've mentioned how octopus, they don't have any bones. But I do want to tell you, they have plenty of brains. If you had to guess how many... they do have plenty of hearts. If you had to guess, friends, how many hearts would you guess an octopus has? I'll let you know. It's more than 1. It's less than 10.
I found it doesn't.
So there's a very big probability that if you don't know the answer, you may have not guessed the right number, because I had no clue about this until I learned more about octopus, is that octopus have a total of 3 hearts. So they do have multiple hearts, friends, and they use them for different things. They'll pump blood to different parts of their body and everything. So all this body that the octopus has, even though it doesn't have bones, it is composed of different things like those hearts. And I want to tell you, friends, octopus also have more than 1 brain. They actually have 9 brains. So apart from having their big brain, their big central brain, we mentioned earlier how they have 8 of these arms. So each of these arms that an octopus has its own little mini brain to kind of control that arm. So 9 brains and 3 hearts. We're learning a lot about octopus right now. So I actually want to make a list of everything that we've learned so far. And if you want, you can make this list with me, or you can just observe me making this list. But I'm going to go ahead and title my list Octopus.
Yeah, so the problem is the iPhone,
and we'll write some different things on here. So once again, if you want to grab some pencil and paper, you can write with me. If you just want to observe, that is fine. But if you ever want a reference sheet for your own reference in the future, you can definitely write this along with me. So far, we know that octopus are invertebrates. So I'm going to put a little dash and put no bones. We also just discussed that octopus have 3 hearts and 9 brains. Another thing that we've observed too is that they have 8 arms, and I'm going to put a dash and put lots of suction cups. So these are some things we know about our octopus so far. And I'm seeing, friends, more questions are coming in. So I'll take, in a second, I'll address those. But here we have our list so far about what we know about our octopus. Do you know anything else that isn't on this list? I'll give you a second. And if you have any other thoughts about something that octopus may have or something octopus can do that isn't on this list, you can feel free to send it in. And while I'll give you a second to do that, I see that Miss Ramirez's class is asking, where does ink come from? So that's another very, very great question, friends. And I know we have a really great video of an octopus inking that I know Tiffany is hunting for right now. So I'm going to give her a second, and then we can take a look at that video and see if we can figure out where exactly the ink comes from.
A window is nice.
Better.
Oh no. Yeah, see the problem is the iPhone, it's, oh, that's really nice.
Well, friends, we're watching this video through, and did you see what happened right now?
iPhone.
So we're just going to keep watching this video.
I'll think tonight download it, see if it's
So we'll watch it from the beginning right now. Our octopus is still kind of hanging out in this hole. It's trying to squeeze into a hole. But here we go, right here. Keep your eye on this siphon. Ha! So I said for you to keep your eye on the siphon that was on this side of its head, right? It's that thing that looks like it's protruding out of the octopus. But if you noticed, it happens very quickly. They're able to switch it to the other side of their head. And then that's when it was able to ink. So it's through that siphon that they're able to ink. So keep watching this video, because here's a siphon again, and it's going to switch it to the other side of its head right now. There we go. And ink.
iPhone, it doesn't.
So it's that siphon that is controlling what side of its head that is able to come out of. So that siphon will be really, really important for them to be able to ink. And why do you think animals like octopuses ink? What do you think this may be able to help them with? So if you're saying to hide away from predators or to even get away from predators, you are absolutely right. Ink is definitely a very great adaptation that octopuses do have in order to be able to protect themselves. It can really help them make a quick escape if they're trying to squeeze into small holes without being caught. And I know, friends, I just introduced a special word that is known as adaptation. And you can see that word right now on the screen. So what is an adaptation? Have you heard of this word before? What an adaptation is, the way that I always think about it, is that it's something special that an animal has that helps it survive and thrive and be successful within its environment. And this comes in all different shapes and forms depending on the animal as well. So inking is definitely one special adaptation that octopus do have. Along with this, I see that Miss Ramirez's class also asked, are they poisonous? So this is a very interesting question because it kind of depends on the octopus. Because there are octopus that are not, while there are octopus that are. There is a tiny little octopus that I know became very famous on the internet for several different reasons that you may have encountered. It is called the blue-ringed octopus. It has little blue rings all over its body. And that is a very, very poisonous octopus. If you come in contact with it, it's able to inject that venom into you. So it definitely depends on the octopus. There are some that are, but there are plenty that are not as well. But now that we've spoken about how octopus are able to ink, I want to add it to our list one more time. We'll go back to my Explorer camera. So one thing that we know they're able to do, we can put they are able to ink. And if we want, we can even put some are poisonous, since that's something we briefly covered right now. Wow, our list is getting rather long very quickly. Um, and I see we have another question come in from Miss Ramirez's class. They're asking if an arm gets hurt or eaten, will it grow back? So that is a really good question, friends, because there are some animals who are able to grow their arms back, right? If they were to get eaten. Sea stars are a really great example of an animal that is able to grow its arm back. And they do belong to that same group as octopus. But octopus are not able to grow their arms back as far as I know. They can? Oh, I'm learning something right now with Tiffany. I was looking at her with like a kind of quizzical face. I did not know octopus are actually able to grow their arms back. So
It'll be like a tiny little baby arm and it'll eventually grow full into this.
Oh, so Tiffany is telling me. Fortunately, friends, we have lots of brains here in the office, and Tiffany has a rather big one. And they are able to grow that arm back. It starts off as a little baby arm, and then it'll grow into a full adult arm. So they are able to regenerate that arm. It will take a lot of energy and a lot of time, but they are able to do that. So I think that's something very cool we can add to our list. I'm going to scoot it up, so if we lose some of the list, don't worry. But able to grow
I saw my octopus teacher and I learned that.
their arms back. Tiffany just told me, friends, that she has an octopus teacher, and I'm very jealous of her right now. Ooh, so I see. Thank you, Mr. Dominguez, for bringing us back to the point, because I had us thinking about what are suction cups even used for. So let's talk about that, since we've had plenty of time to think about that. From earlier when I asked you all is what are suction cups used for? We definitely have seen suction cups being used for a lot of movement, but they're also used for different things. Suction cups are able to taste things as well. So if an octopus is trying to figure out, is this my food? Is this something I want to eat? They're able to taste through their suction cups. These suction cups have even more taste buds than our tongues do. So they're able to really get a good feel from those things. This is one of my favorite videos that we have here. So you can see on this little boat right here, there's a crab, and our octopus is smiling through their suction cups right now, which is another thing they're able to do. And right now, it is going to taste the things through the water, and it's going to taste that crab. And you can see it's grabbing onto that crab with those suction cups onto that little boat. And our octopus, this is Godzilla. He's like, this is something tasty that I want. So he's going to go ahead and take it in. And between all of these arms is their mouth in the middle. So that's where he's going to take that crab down. Don't worry, he will not eat the boat. He will give us the boat back right now. But you can see as he eats, he turns to more of that wider coloration as he is enjoying that yummy crab. And then once he is all done, he's like, here's your boat back. Refill it. I'll be back. So that's something very, very fun that we're able to do with our octopus here as well, is work with them in lots of different ways. Because like I mentioned, friends, they are super, super intelligent animals. So challenging in different ways, introducing them to different things can really help keep those brains stimulated and activated. But yes, Ms. Dominguez's class. So like we mentioned, with those suction cups, I'm going to go ahead and write suction cups on my list. I'm going to put suction cups. Oops. Suction cups. They're able to move, taste. They're even able to breathe with them. So, lots of different abilities that this octopus does have. But one last thing I want to cover, friends, before we run out of time, which we haven't officially brought up, even though we've observed it in different ways, is that octopus are the masters of camouflage. So, have you heard that word before? Have you heard the word camouflage before? Feel free to watch this video, but I just want to define that word first. Camouflage. What does it mean? Maybe you already know, and you can share it with someone. If you're watching this with someone, you can say it out loud. You can whisper it. What does camouflage mean? So what camouflage means is that they're able to blend in with their surroundings. So another thing that these suction cups are very useful for is for them to be able to feel their surroundings, and also it helps them change color. So as we watch this video, you can see them change color. So they're feeling all the different little things, and they're able to send those pigments through chromatophores, which is just a special thing that octopus have to change colors. And they're able to send that message throughout their body. And look at how quickly this happens with different octopus. Did you even spot that one before it changed? It happens 1 second to another. I'll point it out to you. It's right there. And then look at how quickly. I barely got a chance to point it, and it's already a full red color. What do you think camouflage helps them with, friends? How can this help an octopus? So once again, if you're thinking about it helps them hide away from predators, that helps them make a speedy getaway, that's definitely a big thing. It helps keep octopus safe. It's one of those other adaptations. So we know that one of their adaptations is they're able to ink. Another one is that they are able to camouflage out there within these habitats. Another very cool thing about this camouflage is often when we think about camouflage in octopus, we think that they're just able to change color. But my favorite thing about an octopus is that they're actually able to change texture. So 1 second, the octopus can be very, very smooth if it's on a very smooth rock. Or if it's just swimming around, usually they look very smooth like this. But if it goes on a really bumpy surface like this coral reef right here, you're going to see it's able to change its body to look really bumpy and really rough. So like that, it blends in even better with its surroundings. And then right now it's going to go smooth again, and it would swim away. So I think changing texture is actually my favorite thing about an octopus that they're able to do. But this camouflage is definitely something that will be very, very important to these octopus. So that's something I want to go ahead and add to our list, is that they're able to camouflage. So I'm going to put it right here. And it looks like this is the last thing I'm adding to my list. I'm going to put camouflage, and I'm going to put color and texture, since we just spoke about that. Wow, we have such a long list so far, friends. I want to go ahead and go over in about this last minute that we have here, because we learned a lot of different things together. So, octopus, right? So we talked about how they're invertebrates. So octopus don't have any bones. Move around like if you don't have bones. We don't have bones. They also have 3 hearts, so a lot more hearts than we do, and they have different purposes. We also spoke about how they have 9 brains, so one big central brain, but then each of those arms has their own brain. And speaking about their arms, they have 8 arms with lots of suction cups. And just like we spoke about, they use those suction cups in so many different ways, which we have down here, is that they're able to move and taste and breathe and feel things. So they're able to use those suction cups to help them change color along with different parts of their bodies. They're also able to ink, which will help them survive out in their natural habitats. Some octopus are poisonous, not all of them, but some of them, which is also brings me to another very good point, friends, that you don't want to touch animals out in the ocean, because you never know about them or what they're able to do. And a lot of the times, the small, really cute animals have different things to help protect them because of their size. So like I said, that little tiny blue-ringed octopus is rather small, but definitely something that you don't want to touch. We also learned they're able to grow back their arms, which is something I learned along with all of you, is I wasn't too sure on that. So friends, another really great point is don't be afraid to ask questions. So I am glad you asked all your questions. And the last thing we learned, which I kind of erased with my thumb right now, is that they're able to camouflage through their color and texture. So we learned so many things together. So I see that one last question that I'm going to leave us all with is, it's from Ella from Overland Elementary. Is, why do octopus have 8 arms? So that's a great question. So technically, friends, so octopus, if we're really going to break down their arms and their limbs, is that they have 6 arms and they have 2 legs. So there's 2 kind of longer ones that we can't really see, but they have 2 legs and 6 arms. And the reason for that is those other 6 arms will technically be used for movement more often, and those 2 main arms can do more of the things like eating and grabbing onto things and stuff like that. But in general, we can just kind of say that octopus have 8 of those arms. But really great questions, friends. And once again, if you have any last questions, feel free to send it into our email, which is live@lbaop.org. But teachers, if you were tuning in with your class today, I do please ask that if you can send into our text line how many students you're watching in with today. We would really appreciate that. This just helps us get a better idea as to how many people are watching, what parts of the community are watching, and how we can better serve our community here at the aquarium as well. But with that being said, thank you so much, friends. We do have another program at 10 a.m. if you want to meet Tiffany. She'll be teaching all about our Earth and its carbon cycle. So very exciting topics. But once again, have a good rest of your day and bye, friends.